Are you ready for another chapter in the never-ending saga of Chicago Bulls mediocrity? Because if you're a fan of this once-proud franchise, you've probably developed a high tolerance for disappointment, a grim acceptance of the perpetually almost there status. But even for the most jaded among us, the latest whispers from around the league, coupled with the baffling decisions emanating from the front office, should ignite a fresh wave of frustration. How much more can this long-suffering fan base endure before the very fabric of their loyalty begins to fray? We're talking about a team that has consistently stumbled, a management team that seems intent on doubling down on failure, and now the very real prospect of trading away the few bright spots left on the roster. The question isn't just if the Chicago Bulls are heading for another rebuild, but whether they even have a coherent plan to execute it, or if they're simply flailing in the dark, ready to offload their most valuable assets for pennies on the dollar. For 3 consecutive seasons, the Chicago Bulls have been stuck in the NBA's purgatory, a dreary cycle of middling performances, lottery-bound finishes, and a frustrating inability to truly contend in what is, by all accounts, the NBA's junior varsity Eastern Conference. Any other organization, facing such a consistent lack of progress, would surely be ringing the alarm bells, demanding accountability, and perhaps making sweeping changes at the top. But not the Chicago Bulls. Oh no, not them. In a move that defied logic and seemed to mock the very concept of performance-based evaluation, ownership, in its seemingly infinite wisdom and care, opted to extend the contracts of both team president Arturas Karnisovas and head coach Billy Donovan. Both men have held their respective positions since 2020, a tenure that has yielded precisely 1 playoff appearance, a fleeting first-round exit, and 0 blue-chip prospects among their current, admittedly mismatched yet intriguing personnel. This isn't just stagnation, it's an active endorsement of it, a baffling vote of confidence in a regime that has consistently failed to elevate the team beyond the realm of irrelevance. Adding insult to injury, the Bulls' response to this prolonged period of underachievement has been, to put it mildly, perplexing. This summer, they offloaded a coveted role player, the sharpshooting 3 and deep point guard Lonzo Ball, to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ball, despite his injury woes, remained a highly desired asset across the league, a player whose unique skill set could genuinely elevate a contender. What did the Bulls get in return for such a valuable piece? A depreciated asset in wing Isaac Okoro, and perhaps most damningly 0 draft equity. Let that sink in for a moment. This marks the 2nd straight summer that the Bulls have ostensibly held negotiating leverage in offloading a desired veteran, only to fail spectacularly in extracting any meaningful draft capital in return. It's a pattern that speaks volumes about their negotiating prowess, or rather, their alarming lack thereof. It suggests a front office that is either desperate, incompetent, or, as many around the league now suspect, simply willing to be exploited in trade talks. This isn't how you build a future. This is how you dismantle one piece by agonizing piece without any clear vision for what comes next. And what about the future, you ask? Well, the Bulls did make 2 selections in this year's draft. Raw forward Noah Essen with the number 12 pick and big man Lachlan Olbrich at number 55. While both players possess intriguing long-term potential, neither seems likely to contribute meaningfully this season, if ever. They are projects, developmental pieces, not immediate impact players who can shift the trajectory of a struggling franchise. This further underscores the Bulls' current predicament. A roster devoid of established stars, a farm system offering little immediate relief, and a management team that appears to be operating without a compass. With the front office having now established a clear willingness, perhaps even an eagerness, to be taken advantage of in trade discussions, it's fair to assume that at this point, the entire team is open for business. The for sale sign might as well be hanging prominently outside the United Center. Against this backdrop of organizational disarray, the rumor mill is churning with increasing intensity, spotlighting 2 particular players who appear to be on the chopping block. According to Sam Amico of HoopsWire, former 2-time All-Star center Nikola Vucevic and the dynamic 25-year-old combo guard Coby White have emerged as the top Bulls most likely to be sought after by opposing franchises during the upcoming 2025-26 season. For Vucevic, this isn't exactly new territory. Nikola Vucevic was the main name to watch all of last season and all of this summer, Amico writes, echoing what has become a persistent whisper around the league. That won't change until he's finally traded. Most around the league feel as if this will be the year. Vucevic, a talented offensive big man, has been a consistent professional during his time in Chicago, but his fit with the team's current direction, or lack thereof, has always been questionable. He's a veteran on a decent contract, capable of providing scoring and rebounding for a contender, making him an attractive piece for teams looking to bolster their front court without breaking the bank. His departure would signal a clear shift, a further shedding of veteran talent in what looks increasingly like an aimless teardown. But while Vucevic's potential trade has been a long-running narrative, the inclusion of Coby White on this list introduces a far more complex and potentially heartbreaking dimension for Bulls fans. White, who arguably emerged as the Bulls' best player last season, is currently severely underpaid, earning a mere $12.9 million on an expiring deal. This is the kind of situation that sends shivers down the spine of any competent front office. White is a young, ascending talent, a combo guard with a burgeoning offensive game and a relentless motor. He's exactly the kind of player you should be building around, a homegrown success story. Yet, because of his contract situation, he's in line to command a significant raise on the open market next summer, likely double his current sum, if not more. Even the Bulls, with their track record of questionable financial decisions, might balk at agreeing to a long-term deal for him now, especially if they're truly committed to a full-scale, painful rebuild. This is where the true tragedy of the Bulls' situation comes into sharp focus. If they trade Coby White, they are not just shedding salary or moving a veteran. They are giving up on their most promising young talent, a player who has shown consistent growth and a willingness to embrace a leadership role. It would be a tacit admission that they have failed to build a cohesive, competitive team around him, and that their only recourse is to hit the reset button yet again. But what kind of reset? One without draft picks? One without a clear direction? The decision regarding Coby White is a pivotal one, a fork in the road that will define the immediate future of this franchise. Do they commit to him, pay him what he's worth, and try to build something, anything, around his burgeoning talent? Or do they succumb to the perceived inevitability of a trade, further alienating a fan base that has already been pushed to its limits? The signs are ominous, the whispers loud. The Chicago Bulls are at a crossroads, and their recent history suggests they are more likely to choose the path of least resistance, even if it leads to further disappointment. The potential trades of Nikola Vucevic, and more critically Coby White, are not just transactional moves. They are symptoms of a deeper malaise, a fundamental lack of direction and competence at the highest levels of the organization. This isn't just about winning or losing games. It's about the soul of a franchise, the trust of a fan base, and the very definition of what it means to be a Chicago Bull. The patience of the faithful is wearing thin, and if these anticipated moves come to pass, it will be yet another bitter pill for a city that deserves so much more. So what's your take, Bulls Nation? Is trading Coby White an unforgivable sin or a necessary evil for a franchise stuck in neutral? Do you believe this front office can ever truly turn things around, or are we destined for more years of middling basketball? Let me know your thoughts, your frustrations, and your hopes, however faint they may be, in the comment section below. Your passion is what keeps this conversation alive, even when the on-court product leaves us wanting. And if you're tired of the same old story and want to hear more unfiltered takes on the chaotic world of the NBA, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep the faith, even when it feels like there's little left to believe in.